Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is Travis Semulin Hours. We're jumping into a Strixhaven Draft here on Arena. This is best of 3. And I was just chatting with chat about anti-cards. Back in the day, we had an anti-league where each of us bought a starter deck and 2 boosters, and that was all the cards you could play with, which I thought was incredibly fun. Because, like, you had your basics, and if you ran out of a color via them getting lost to anti, like, you had to change your deck. Like, I can't play red anymore. I lost all my mountains. Funny. What do we want here? Do we want Closing Statement or Vanishing Verse? They're both pretty good, and I think they're better than anything else in the pack. I mean, Exile-based removal is pretty dang good. They're both worth a splash in, like, an Abzan or a Mardu deck. And also pretty good in Silverquill. I think I'll take the rare one and see where we go. Like, there's some stuff this can't kill that Closing Statement can, but this is incredibly cheap, which I like. I could respect the statement too here. Yeah, I think we take the Orator here. This is a pretty good uncommon. And it could set us up as a white-based deck. If there was anything better, there's some argument for Pilgrim of the Ages, but I don't think over the Orator. If there was a really good card that didn't fit with Vanishing Verse, I'd totally take it here, but there's just not. And I don't care for the Stadium. I've lost to it. This is a little bit out there, but I'm kind of thinking about Mortality Spear here. Like, there's not a white card here. There's not a black card here that I'm incredibly happy about. Like, Lash of Malice is fine. I could play Lash of Malice. But that feels like I'd be kind of forcing the Silverquill a bit. Which I'm not opposed to. I'll play a Silverquill deck. But I think Spear's the best card here with a nod towards Zimone. This is a little bit of a decision point for us. The Simistress is quite good. And it could give trample to our Orator, which is kind of a big deal. This doesn't work with Reach, which is, I mean, kind of awkward. Pilgrim versus Inkling? Why? These are commons. We might see them later. This is an uncommon, and usually a signal that green things are open. Like, what's looking open is something that's either Witherbloom or Quandrix. Like, these are not key cards in a black-white deck. They're very playable cards in a black-white deck. That was kind of the joke, Adam. But 3 people have looked at the Symmetrist and been like, no thanks. If we continue seeing green cards, we're going to feel pretty smart. And we could still play Vanishing Verse in that deck. We just couldn't play the Orator, which is fine. I think I like Mage Hunter's Onslaught here. Like, I'll play black-green. I like black-green. It's pretty good. Again, unless we see something to change my mind. Yeah, whatever color pair the table isn't playing is what I want to be in. I don't think we've seen any real indication that blue's open yet. But again, we've had 5 people not pick a premium black removal spell. So you got a solid 4-drop and 2 removal spells. That looks pretty good. This is a bit earlier than I want to take 10 the Pass, but if I'm in this deck, it will be good in it. So what are we looking at currently? Probably something similar to this. Like, maybe we splash the Vanishing Verse, maybe we don't. If I take the Campus, we could splash the Verse pretty easily. And I'll play Arrogant Poet in this deck. I'm just not, like, super happy about it. Yeah, I'll take this and see if it pays off. When I've had this in this deck, it's been pretty dang good. If you get the right pieces for it. Holy carp, that's a late past caller. And I'm taking it. Like, if no one wants to be Lorehold, I'll flush literally all of this. We could do Mardu stuff, and this would be fine. So here's the thing to remember, Neff, about Tend the Pest. One of the things that Golgari Witherbloom decks are weak to is you make an arbitrarily large thing, you attack, and they bury in books. If they're doing that on your 9/9 menace creature that you've spent a lot of time and cards to make into a threat, redrawing it 2 turns later as a 3-mana 2/2 is devastating, and you're going to lose. But if you respond to that with Tend to Pests or Snakeskin Veil, various other cards that fill that role, all of a sudden it's not so terrible. All of a sudden, you're probably still winning the game. So while I also don't like the card, I recognize the utility that it plays in Witherbloom. So if I'm in Witherbloom, I want one. I would never splash for it, and some Witherbloom decks don't even want it. Ones that aren't really focused on the synergy of the college, but are more focused on like, hey, I opened some really good black-green cards. So that's why it was more of a speculative pick for me. We talked some about playstyle, though, didn't we, Neff? I see your question, Stormcount. Give me a second. I think whatever we're doing, we're going to play the Spectre. Because I think we're either Mardu or Witherbloom. I'm not entirely sure which yet. Like, I used to argue that things didn't fit in my playstyle, and then I read that tweet from Jorbs, and it basically translated to my playstyle is handicapping myself and making myself lose. Like, if this is what the Witherbloom deck wants to do, I want to do it. Also, I'm not planning on playing in the draft challenge. If you run the math, it's about the same payout as what I'm doing right now, with the added opportunity of you have to play the same deck for like 7 rounds. That doesn't really sound appealing to me. I could sort of see Study Break going into some Mardu stuff. Our Professor's Warning is also a card that can fill a similar role as Tend the Pest sometimes. The draft challenge is best of 3. But there's like almost an incentive to go into Mardu stuff over here. I'm kind of not seeing it though. Like, I can just take this dude and have solid removal as a start. I'm not going to go crazy over a Relic Sloth. I don't think we saw any blue cards, Iggy, that we would want. I can't see any reason to think that that would possibly be open. It's not like Zimone went entirely around the table. You know? What if we did this? What if we did this? Yeah, I mean, there are sets that I enjoy and sets that I don't enjoy. We need a big old maybe pile over here. Because we got a big old maybe pile. That could make it in. Does this target? No, it does not. I guess I'm never playing that. If we open Hoffrey, all of a sudden we're playing these cards. I mean, if we open Nasri, are we all of a sudden Marduing it? What would that look like? It's not that bad. And we can swap right back over. We'd be missing a Cultivate, which is big to miss. But like, this is 5 mana, win the game. I like winning the game. Oh no, I don't feel like red's actually open though. We only got past another red rare. Is it good to cast your removal spells from your graveyard for free? Because I think it might be. Yeah, we don't need to play a Relic Sloth either. We just get to play the good stuff. Now, what's interesting is Witherbloom is also incredibly open. Right? Like, we could still be doing that, but I think we're just moving into Lorehold because we just opened great stuff. Like, I think we're probably looking at something closer to this now. Yoinks! Like, we can splash this Vanishing Verse if we feel like we need to. But right now, I don't feel like I need to. I do suspect that my win rate is mostly luck. Essentially what I'm doing here is we didn't see, so I can explain what may appear to look like luck. One of the reasons that I decided to go for the Nasri is we really didn't see any good red in pack 1. What does that mean long term for us? It means that basically what we're doing is known as pass cutting. One of these 3 players, potentially both, are in red. So since we know it's getting cut there, I'm going to gobble up my red spells here, and then we're not going to get any in the next pack, which kind of sucks. I don't have much learn yet, but I do value the first Introduction to Annihilation very highly. If we're going to splash the verse, I need to pick up campuses, but I really want the first one of these. So, like, basically what we're doing is because these 3, and this is why some people will talk about, hey, how about you cut a particular color? If you cut a particular color well enough, you won't get paid off for it. Let's say both of these 2 players are cutting red. Cool, I'll take all the red cards in this pack. And then I'll get the white cards in the next pack, and we got a great deck. And both of them are like, why do I have garbage red cards? I wouldn't suggest that you do that strategy very often, but if you've noticed that red is getting cut, and you open a red bomb, let's party. I don't think I need the Vanishing Verse currently. I think we're fine to just play red-white, because I basically need garbage 2-drops and this deck's finished. I like Quintorius a lot, but I don't think I need him here. I think I need a study guide or a campus guide, because that does allow me to splash the black if I don't get their own playables, which I may be kind of short. And what I have to work with I'm still going to do it. Yes, if we ever draw these together, it's absurd. It does everything you think it does. It's really good. The problem is staying alive and being able to do it, so I want to take this campus guide. I think we would main deck 1 defend the campus. Nexus, thank you for the gift subs. Y'all spam some cats for Nexus. Thank you very much, my friend. We moving on up. That'll work too. Man, I really thought we were going to draft Witherbloom, and then we didn't. I could play that if I had to. It's not great. We could certainly play a Thrilling Discovery as a one-of. Warden Wield too. This is fine. I just need to fill in this early game. And every time we bring it back, it's making little spirits. It's a whole spirit family. So what I want to take here is Guiding Voice. And I'm trying to decide if I can do that. Thanks again, Nexus. That puts us up to 6. It's showing 629 now. Well, I'll let the count update when it updates. Tome Shredder would be really good with Quintorius. I suspect we can see another Tome Shredder. The Guiding Voice is already pretty dang good with the Reflective Golem, and I'm going to have to play this, so we may as well try to, like, work with it. Yes, Iggy. We're also not going to see many red cards this pack. We need to be valuing white cards in this pack. But that's exactly what happened. 2 people cut red, and we are reaping the benefits of that. It's called pass cutting. I would not suggest you try that very often, but if you've noticed there's no red and open a red bomb, for example, that's the time to speculate on it. Yoinks! Order's not bad here. We've got a double striker and 2 flyers. So here, I think we should take... I think I'm going to get there on playables, so I think I can take my Inkling Summonings. That gives us another potential flyer for the Orator. Mizzix's Mastery, huh? I really want, like, I don't think we can do that. Huh. We're just not that deck, which is unfortunate. I think we actually want the Tome Shredder, which is not an exciting pick, but here we are. It doesn't quite work with these things and the Flame Paint. Maybe I don't want a Tome Shredder. Maybe I just want a Spirit Summonings and we see if we hit another one. Yeah, I think that's actually what I want. I should find room for you. Oh, I want the Campus Guide and I want the Lorehold Campus. It's going to be really close on playables. I'm taking this because if I have to splash the Vanishing Verse, I can do it with this. Our early game sucks. I don't want our early game to suck. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have taken that Quintorius. I thought you got a free Divine Gambit and Lorehold Excavation every time you drafted red-white. What's up? Where's my Divine Gambit? There's going to be a Divine Gambit in the next pack and a Lorehold Excavation in the pack after that, and we're good to go. Okay, now it updated. It's showing 634. There's our Divine Gambit. There's also a Reconstruct History, which I also want. But we get this, and now we get a Lorehold Excavation, pack 3, pick 8, and we're done. See, there it is. Except it isn't. So how far away am I from a deck? God, I want the Infuriate. I know I'm supposed to take the Tome Shredder chair. Fine. I want the Infuriate. I wanted to see if I could wheel the other one, but I don't think I can, so fine. Is there ever a time where I'm going to fetch that? I may have to play an Explosive Welcome. Ooh, these are both nice. Stonebind is playable. Stonebind what? I don't recognize the card name. Oh, the flyer? No, I don't want that here if I can avoid it. That Piggy Storm's pretty nice. This deck doesn't want the doggo. It's a lot of late game. Oh, that? No. Not the way we're building this. This deck is short a couple 2-drops. So, like, you could play it. But so that card is an aggressive card, a 1-mana 1/1 that can conceivably grow late game. So think about how we'd be growing it. What can we do that would start growing it? We could expel something, sure, but realistically, best case scenario, we go turn 1 that, turn 2 Guiding Voice, turn 3 Tome Shredder, eat the Guiding Voice, and we built a 3/3 on turn 3. If you think Biomathematician is amazing, we kind of built our own, and it just took a 3-card combo. It's not really going to start growing until we're hitting with Flame Painter, Pillar Drop Warden, Biblioplex Assistant, or casting this, and like a 1/1 that's going to like grow over time. I'm like, I don't want that. So I got to play one card I don't want to play, and it can be Explosive Welcome, which is incredibly expensive. It can be Pillar Drop Rescuer, which is probably not getting back. Actually, it's going to be Pillar Drop Rescuer, and I'll tell you why. You know who you can get back with Pillar Drop Rescuer that you shouldn't be able to get back with Pillar Drop Rescuer? Nasri. This is a way to rebuy my 5-mana Win the Game card. Because when it's in the graveyard, it's only 3 mana. That's stupid, and we're going to take advantage of it. Huzzah. Yeah, rebuying the Orators could be good too. We just don't quite have enough early game. I mean, which is a shame, but what you gonna do? I think I'm pretty happy with this, eh? It's a little heavy on the curve. An aggro deck could really ruin my day. I got 2 combos with the Reflective Golem, which is good enough. Which is good enough. Yeah, that's my plan, Neff. We'll just draw the 2 drops early. It'll be good. It'll be good. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle so they don't have to wait around while I'm playing a best of 3 match. Bring on your ambush. We are ready. Pew, 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 pew. I love that they got that musketeer skin to shoot corn dogs. That's so stupid. And it looks like the Sim Kill emote. Adam with the kills, Jank Shank with the assists, rewards for Scar, Zibby, Cosmere, Wizard, and Wonton Soup. All right, these are pretty easy. We just hack these things to pieces. We can even fire that one off early, too, if we get a quick game 1. I don't think we're looking to win quickly, although with the right draw we could. But we can't really punish a deck that's being stumbly. Looks okay. There's a lot of bad draws. But we can at least loot something away with the study break if we have to. I mean, or I could just draw perfect. I like that better. I'm wondering if we're supposed to trade these off. I might supposed to be. Feels weird, man. I guess I don't have to worry about it now. I guess I can block with it, though. Probably just want us one of these, although he does pump spirits, so like we could take this and have a spirit to get pumped later. I don't think that's going to do a lot for us. Because I think I'm going to play Quintorius, they're going to kill Quintorius, and then we need to recover from there. I suppose I could also play out both of these. Let's see if they do anything with this. It's a decent blocker, and it could have a lot of value depending on our draws. I may have to Divine Gambit Zimone, but I've got a couple burn spells that could get her. They don't really start to accrue value off of her until they hit the 8 mana. So like if we draw the Shock or the Inspiration, I'd really rather hit her with that. Next turn, it's kind of likely we're going to bump into something like, yeah, that's fine. A bunch of 4/4s from them. I wonder why they wouldn't do that in attack. I guess they want to make sure it's tapped for 2 turns. They're not super likely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not going to get to 8 next turn. I think this is kind of fine. Okay, now Zabone kind of needs to be dealt with. Thing is, as much mana as they're getting to, it feels like Defend the Campus is going to be a kill spell. I really don't want to fire off Divine Gambit. Right, meow. They're interested in racing, which is interesting. But Quintorius will answer that eventually. All right, I do need to hit Nasri relatively soon, because that gives me a plan for actually winning. So I probably do have to spit these out, which kind of sucks. Okay, we're going to be looking to block here. And I can always get back the Gambit. I think we want to start, though, with Urza's Raging this and turn off their value engine. Then we can try to do something with Nasri. They can pump that twice. No, they can pump it once, which is like, okay, get me. Okay, that works too. That's awkward. But I do need Zimone dead. That's not ideal. I can sort of see a way out of this, though. Well, that's never connecting, so that's not my way out. What is my way out? My way out is Past Caller getting back Divine Gambit, and then landing Nasri. It's a shame we couldn't get all of this going while Contorius was still in play, because a bunch of 4/2s to block with would have been mighty nice. I think we just missed one too many land drops. Because this is kind of just too much damage to mitigate. Wonder why they didn't play it. I don't think any of this is really good enough, but if I get back, if this is able to block, and I get back the Divine Gambit, we're still playing Magic. Otherwise, we're kind of not. Now, I don't know what all these cards are. I imagine they have a way to just kill me right now, but if they don't, so you may be wondering, well, like, why didn't I Igneous Inspiration this? And it's because we know they have a Fractal Summoning. I have to be able to answer that, too. But I think if we hit one land drop a little bit earlier there, we're all of a sudden in business. So I do like our chances here. Like, we've got answers for Simone and stuff. It was basically the little 2/1 that could, which is impressive. Because if we'd drawn ours, that's a whole different game. Let's give it a go. I think if I could have cast the Past Caller the turn I killed Simone, well, I could have. There's a lot of cards that would be nice. I wouldn't say no to a couple more 2 and 3 drops. It's an awkward start, but we'll take it. I'm probably going to have to use Shock on something that's not Simone, which doesn't make me happy, but we'll live. Because I suspect we just brainlessly shocked their first play. Gotta get the cool planes. A little bit more of an aggressive draw this time around, eh? Yeah, why not have him be a bird warrior? Seems better to me. And this is kind of what you're for, right? Get that out of the way, win the game. Although, do I care if these trade? No, I don't care if those trade, but I do care if they have a arcane subtraction. I'd really rather than not have an arcane subtraction. which I think they have, and now we can just make them fire off to gain 3 instead of the easy dude. But they don't even have one. Okay, I don't know what they had then. De la Snow. Alright then. I mean, it's 2 free damage. Does this guy gain haste? It does not, but it's free damage. Like, it's a reasonable amount of free damage. Oh, well, it could still gain haste. It just wouldn't do anything. Well, that's unfortunate. Poor little pupper. They want it to be big. I mean, that is pretty consistent. Combo! That's not lethal. It puts him to 1 though, which is pretty interesting. But I think if I study break it on their turn, that's good enough. Yeah, they're just literally dead. We're just doing this to add insult to injury. They don't need to know I have anything else, so I'm going to show them Mercurial Transformation. There you go. Now you know that I have that. I know some people that got into the auto chess stuff and some people that didn't. I look at it as a game like Draft, where draft is the game. That's all you're doing. You're drafting. You're making adjustments to a deck while you're playing the game, and then it's over. So it does kind of scratch that draft itch for me. I think Hearthstone Battlegrounds is one of the better ones for me. If you study break your golem, will you copy? Yes. Which is what I was thinking of doing. So in that case, you would target, this is up to 2. So you would choose the golem and copy it to tap something else. So you would still tap 2 creatures, but one of them's your golem, and you'd be able to learn twice. That's one of the reasons I have the golem in here. The copy would only tap, yes, but you tap 2 things, just one of them is your golem, right? Trying to decide if I have any interest in an explosive welcome. I kind of don't think I do. Yeah, I suppose it takes some getting used to, but I overall enjoyed it. Sometimes you didn't do anything wrong. RNG can get you in that just like it can in Magic. We haven't seen an arcane subtraction in 2 games, so I'm somewhat hopeful that they don't have one. That could be worse. We know we'll at least draw action in another turn. I think I'm digging the Inkling summoning still. I don't think that's what I want to be expelling, but I suppose it could be an argument for it. We've still got Gambit for a large fractal, and we're kind of behind here, so I may need to go ahead and chomp it. I need this board to be relatively clear. I think we need to trust that we're going to draw some of our good stuff here in a minute. I don't think I'd be quite that eager to do it if we weren't sitting on Divine Gambit. I think we would only scry upkeep if they play something that we're definitely going to Divine Gambit. But I may as well set the stop. If they play like a Bookworm, I could see scrying. If not, I'd rather just do it into turn. Who's a good cat thing? You real good cat thing. That's not great. I don't think I'm supposed to Gambit one of those, but I'm a little nervous about it. I think I'm supposed to chump here and see if we can get Nasri going. Now, if they have a removal spell for Nasri, we're in a pretty significant amount of trouble here. Those 4/4s are pretty big. That is the removal spell I was worried about. So now I can't even chump them, and I'm going to have to Gambit one of them. What would we need to get out of this? Not Igneous Inspiration. Although Igneous Inspiration to face could get us... Introduction to Annihilation? Is that where I want to be? God, I freaking hope not. That's really scary. Let's see what they have off of this. Maybe they have like a small creature they've been sandbagging. Nope, it's just spells. And one of them's Explosive Welcome, which is 7 damage. Which means I need to kill that, and I need to chump it this turn. I don't love how this is going, but this is the world we're living in. I'm basically dead to the thing anyway. So we're going to try to mitigate the chances that they draw it in future turns. They're a mana short of casting it. But I need to chump this, annihilate it, and then basically control the board from there. Which I don't think is incredibly likely, but it could happen. My guess, yeah, they top decked that. My goodness. I have a strong suspicion that we're just dead. We needed this a lot bloody sooner. You should draw the cards. You should draw the cards. Would you like a land? Would you like to play a game? I also would not like a land. Did you even lift, girl? Again, things are looking pretty grim for our hero. Assuming I'm your hero, if my opponent is your hero, things are looking great. Was it though? Well, it's because she's a student. She'll be a tutu once she learns from the combat professor. You see. I think our draws lined up relatively poorly against what our opponent was doing there, so I don't think we have a bad deck. I think we just kind of got outdrawn. Oh, GG's, Ryan. All right, let us battle. Guess it doesn't really matter which of these we use, because let's just chop them up. This should be an easy one. This is from the Halloween expansion, and these are pretty easy to tear down. Afternoon, LS. Mosif with the kills, Urberk with the assess rewards for Sneaky, Shadis, Yak, and Shaman. They're also a heck of a lot quicker than the other Orc ones, which is funny. All right, we getting ambushed. Prepare accordingly. Like, those are almost over before they get started. All right, let's see if we can at least get a 2-1 out of this, because I do think we have a cool deck. Oh, it was my pleasure to play against you too. I hope you win all the rest of your matches. That's clunky, but it's doable. We've had a couple 3-0s and a bunch of 2-1s and a couple 1-2s. I think we've had more 3-0s than 1-2s though, so I'm at least happy with that. I wonder if there's a world where you study break to loot away the Quintoris. Because this hand needs land. There's like 5 lands on top, we're happy. Yeah, I don't know what they're looking to do with that, but I'm bloody terrified of it. This is crazy. I think you might need to... Well, maybe the pasta caller needs to go. I have to hit lands. That's a tough one, but I feel pretty justified about it now because we missed the land drop. So, like, ideally, we'd slam the flame painter and get some work going there. But if they got a big spell to cast, they're going to do it now. Well, there you go. That was fun. Nothing you could do about the lands, yo. Or one copy of the Pilgrim would have been really nice, just to help make sure you hit those land drops. Main deck Academic Probation. Okay. That's a thing you can do. Neat. So I have good news. I think we're favored here. And I have some bad news. I think we're going to need to win the next 2 games, because this one's not looking so hot. Okie dokie. I mean, good news, I don't think I was going to. playing against? What does this even do? Your opponents can't cast spells or activate Planeswalker's loyalty abilities this turn. I wonder why they cast it. Just to get the trigger for that. Ooh, mana. That's just crazy talk. Didn't draw. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, off of the spell satchel? I'm not planning to do the draft challenge, no. The payouts are about the same as what we're doing now. So suppose if they don't kill me next turn, this is probably our best bet. They could easily kill me. But if they don't, we're playing Magic. Hey, I'm pretty glad they didn't draw that. I still can't cast it though, because this has to die this turn. If it doesn't, I lose the game. Because presumably they'd get back Infuriate and attack with both and kill me. I don't think I can cast their Study Break effectively this turn. I could cast it and get my 2/1 flyer, which would lead to me having a block for this and that. But I can't play anything else, which I kind of want to. But I have to cast this turn, right? If I'm going to cast it. So doing it now just doesn't seem to do anything. I could Biblioplex Assistant bag the Divine Gambit. I think that leaves me the most likely to live. Like, the problem is there's probably more burn in their deck and I don't have any life gain. And I'm still a removal spell away from being straight up dead. And they can put me to 1 this turn if they'd like to be incredibly aggressive. It would appear they'd like to be incredibly aggressive. I don't want to expose Nosri to an expel just yet. What's up, Exploded? How'd you do? We just playing some Magic, doing our thing. Doesn't seem very good to me. This connecting seems pretty good to me. I guess I'll do it now. Does it come back at the next end step? Ooh. Oh shoot. Now I'm stuck with her. That's not very good. I shouldn't have exiled it. I'm bad and I feel bad. Is that just dead if they don't block? So they would block here and then they take... 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're dead. Whew. That was a close game, yo. I don't know what to say about this deck. I have not seen a deck doing these sorts of things before. I'd love to bring in more early game. I can't. We don't have it. I gotta go to the bathroom before we play the next one, though. I'll be right back. That's one of them matchups where after you finish the game, you gotta change your britches. No, but it won the game, and we didn't see their entire deck. They've also got a lot of pump. So there's creatures that it could hit after they've pumped. I could also take it out, but like I don't know what we'd play. Like I just don't have anything better. There's not much of a sideboard because we thought we were Witherbloom for most of pack 1. I started streaming 4 hours and 51 minutes ago. Exclamation point uptime will tell you that anytime you'd like to know. If you're ever like, hey, what's uptime? Now you can know. What's up, time? What time during the day? I'll usually, like, I mean, I don't have a set schedule, but I'll start streaming when I wake up, generally speaking. So usually around 10 a.m. Eastern, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. I'm nervous about trying to do this with blockers, but next turn I could Spirit Summoning. Yeah, we probably just have to keep clearing. Because we're going to play the Flame Painter next turn and hope they don't kill it. It's going to be tough. But not undoable. It's just a matter of, are you going to kill this? And I hope that you don't. If you turn on notifications, you'll get a push notification every time I start streaming. Not a lot of them, surprisingly. This is essentially a 4/4. If I'm trying to decide here whether I Guiding Voice this and attack, or if we just play Nasri and see what they do next turn. I think I'm safer to Orator and Spirit Summoning. They would not just kill it because they couldn't. Right? They could pump this, but it has double strike. So this only pumps its power, not its toughness. I mean, I could Guiding Voice it and attack. If they don't block, I get a free Igneous Inspiration. If they do, I could use Defend the Campus to kill whatever they're blocking it with. I think I'm kind of down with this. It may well double block, and that's when we would use defend the campus and trade off a lot of board. And I think we'd be pretty happy with that. Okay. I'm not thrilled with this, but we do what we got to do. We lose our Flame Painter, but I can recover next turn with 2 blockers. I could have recovered this turn with 1 blocker. I probably should have. I screwed that up. Because that was going to trade anyway. I forgot they could activate the wolf. Because now we're just dead. That was a mistake. I needed 1 blocker last turn. I'm not used to the wolf being in aggro decks, but it certainly looked good there. Let's give this another go. I punted that. I should have just let it happen because they were going to trade anyway. I thought I was going to get to keep the Efreet. I essentially got a little bit of rare blindness. Ooh, that is not pretty. And yet we're keeping it. I didn't even think about that one. You just need to die. Respect. We have to kill that because it's going to continue to ping us and it's going to generate creatures when they hit another land. I need one hell of a draw to still be in this game because they've got so many cards in hand, and I functionally don't. Right, like that's already arbitrarily large. This is not how this is supposed to line up. Yeah, we knew they had two from game one. Kind of the worst. They played both of them in game one. They're not splashing blue, to my knowledge. This may be what we need to stabilize. I didn't mean to attack with the Tome Shredder, though. Yeah, it was way better. I forgot it had haste. I'm a little brain dead for some reason. I think we're gonna be alright, but I'm a little brain dead. They have Lightning Bolt in their deck. I can't make that block. Ooh, that was a gauntlet. I'm not used to playing against decks like that. It didn't help making mistakes either, but whew, breathe a sigh of relief. I feel like I had to work for that one. I don't like that. I like free wins. Man, that was tough. It's hard to play against a deck like that because you have absolutely no idea what could be in it. There seems to be some advice out there, I'm not sure where it came from, that you're supposed to play Lorehold as an aggro deck. And you can do that. It's just not as good as a Lorehold deck that's actually functioning. Like, if you want to play aggro, play Silverquill. They're better at it. Jank with the kills and the assists rewards for Adam, Yak, Cosmere, Miklas, and Sneaky. Well, I guess I'll keep getting past all the good Lorehold cards then. It works for me. But it does understand why I have a hard time seeing the 2-drops. But, like, if you open a pack and you're like, man, we got to take this first-year student and pass the return pass caller, you're just kind of doing it wrong. But maybe Lorehold is my jam, if that's the case. If everybody's going to draft aggro Lorehold, I can get the Lorehold big stuff and win the game with it. How do they function? Not need a Biblioplex assistant right now. I mean, again, you can just do that in Silverquill if you want. It just seems like a bad way to play Silverquill to me. Shields up. It sounds like it's basically the idea is I'm going to play a white aggro deck, hope I can get black, and if I don't, I'll fall back into red, which I suppose you can do. I just am not in love with it. Really like to get this face painter in for somewhat obvious reasons. Flame painter, face painter, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Lame. Okay, this has got to die eventually, so it may as well be now. And we can't get back the flame painter with any of this. It's a good card. That looks like a potential bounce spell. Just Eureka. So what would we want to get back next turn? I don't think I have any more good lessons to get, right? I've got an Introduction to Annihilation. That's always fine to have in hand. So I could get Igneous Inspiration and then get Introduction to Annihilation with it. I mean, I changed my mind. We're just going to do this now. Keep us G-rated, please, Exploded. I'm sorry to hear that, but thank goodness for Arena, eh? Why aren't the stores setting up the drafts? Do you run a store? You said you have to jump through some hoops just to make a couple of dimes. But why are you setting up drafts instead of a local game store? You're just saying there's not much profit in it for the stores? That is unfortunate. I'm concerned that they're going to get a fractal token with this and that I may not be able to kill it. But I kind of feel like I have to. It does not seem that way to me, Exploded. They've said there's going to be a big emphasis. Okay, they're just going to kill my Nostri, which is also not ideal, but I really don't think that's what they're doing. They've said there's going to be a big emphasis on paper once this COVID stuff is through. It isn't to me. It's okay if it is important to you. But it is relatively unimportant to me. I cannot give you permission to post a link. I have links banned here. You can post any link you want in my Discord, though. And I'll see it, and the people that go there see it. Whatever you want to talk about, Jacques, I'm very happy to talk about. Yeah, post it in there. Let's talk about it. This is awkward. But I guess we go for it because we're just dead otherwise. So Pasta Caller getting me Divine Gambit leaves me only mostly dead. I mean, Study Break kind of does the same thing too, doesn't it? Because I could tap it and expel it. I mean, do they sell magic cards? Okay, I'll look at it when we finish this game. Remind me. That's a pretty good draw. Sure, I guess we'll take that. That's 7, huh? Neat. Well, if they sell magic product, just buy the boosters from them and then draft. I don't understand the problem. But let me finish this game, Jacques, and remind me, and we can talk about that some. Since we're doing a YouTube video, I want to kind of give them some gameplay. But like, if the problem is you want to draft at the game store, but cards are expensive, but you want to support the game store, buy the cards from the store. If you're not going to buy the cards from the store, then don't bother supporting the store. Order the cards and play at home. Yeah, I'm looking at this like we have a sideboard. We don't have a sideboard. I must be missing something. Hallelujah for Campus Guide. then you can fix that by buying cards from them. Teach him how to draft. That's probably worth a shock. Just because it gives me the opportunity to double spell here. And I like having the golem in play, generally speaking. I'll still get him for 3 next turn with the professor. And it'll have a little bit more toughness to beat through something. Or we can just block with the professor, that works too. I understand, but what I'm saying is if the game store doesn't have singles for them to buy, I don't blame people for buying stuff from somewhere else. I certainly would. You draw land or I win. Even if you draw land, I got plays. Well, so if you wanted to order it yourself, could you get it faster than they could? Because it sounds like it's just slow to get product there, which sucks. But like, I'm pretty passionate. Like, I remember working trade sales for Games Workshop a long time ago, and I would get incredibly frustrated with store owners that would say they only did special orders. Because like, that doesn't make any sense. The only reason people are coming to your store is because they want to buy something now. Well, do they embargo you? What I'm saying is, if you wanted a booster box of Strixhaven, could you get it faster than your local game store? Then it doesn't matter that much, does it? I mean, I understand that you're frustrated about it, but we'll talk about that some more in a minute while we just casually win this game. Boop. There you go, YouTubers. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. Don't worry, there will be plenty more drafts for you to watch on the YouTubes. I can't guarantee all of them will be that exciting because that was pretty freaking intense, yo. But was a fun game. If you'd like to watch the drafting live, you can do so at twitch.tv/Semulin. If you don't hear the music, it's a YouTube draft. That's how you know. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.